You are losing out on closing type A prospects because you either don't know what to say or you're not man enough to say it, or both. This video is going to help you with that. If you're new to the channel, my name's Tristan Steckler. I close millions in high ticket, and I've helped hundreds of people do the same. This will be a call review from a closer of mine who struggled pretty mightily with a type A prospect. I'm going to show you exactly what should have been said. This guy gave a partner objection at the end, why that happened, and how you can prevent that in the future on your calls. So pull out a pen and paper, take some notes, and watch the call all the way until the end. Good luck.
And this is a nice guy. He wasn't like a type A, like a-hole, but he was like a to the point guy. And it was the banger question that we ask of like, what's preventing you from getting outside help, and like, why haven't you figured it out? Like, it's just like, oh, like I haven't done anything about it. I just haven't. I'm like, why not? He's like, oh, I just haven't. And so that's what I was struggling with. And I didn't want to keep asking it over and over again. So we just kind of moved through. And then that's why I got wife objection. So
Got it. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Sweet. How are we? Where are we calling from today?
I'm in the 70 New York City area.
On New York
Long
City?
Island, Queens. Yeah. How about you?
Okay, cool. I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Nice. Awesome.
Cool. Well, let's just jump right in if that's cool with you. I
Yeah, absolutely.
have about 45 minutes or so. Do you have anything pressing at the top of the hour just in case we go a few minutes over?
I don't. My calendar is mostly clear for the rest of the day, other than having to pick up my son from daycare in a couple of hours. So
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, did you get a chance to watch?
This is today.
yep, this was a call I just got off of like the last hour.
He's got nothing going on the entire rest of the day. That's interesting.
The videos that we sent over to you?
yes, I did.
Okay. And based on my notes here, looks like you spoke with Carrie recently.
Yep.
I hope she didn't bore you too much.
Nah, she was great.
Okay, cool. Based on my notes here, just to kind of make sure we're on the same page, I don't want you to repeat yourself, but just to make sure that we're on the same page. You're making household income 275K net, that's take home. You guys have some debt, but you're making progress with that, and you've recently been consolidating that, right?
Yeah, so it's actually 275 gross. We're
Okay.
bringing in about, let's say, total a month. Give me 1 sec. Let me crunch the numbers really quick.
I think 13 is what Carrie had.
Yes, I would say that's about accurate.
Okay, cool. Perfectly fine. And no other investment accounts other than the
Yeah, if we're being real, like even 13K a month, that ain't enough, especially with family and kids.
And he lives in New York, has a kid,
Yeah,
household,
bro.
and
No
baby boy.
way, dude. No way. Why isn't this brother working the rest of the day? It's my question.
401ks that you currently have.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, cool.
I've dabbled with investing into, swing trading and things like that have not.
Why would someone dabble in it and not full send it?
Because they're
What
scared
if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
So I'm just profiling this guy. Everything that comes out of his mouth, he's starting to fall into certain categories.
He told me he doesn't work. He works from home on Wednesdays and Fridays. So today's Wednesday, I believe. So he probably just kind of just goes through
He's got a
Does he
screw
sell
around
cars or
job.
something, or what?
I don't know.
Sounds like a screw around job to me.
Not panned out for me in the past, and have moved far away from that, and
Yeah.
have just trying to figure out how to be smarter with money overall.
Okay, so what is he saying right now?
Doesn't know how to be smart with money.
Yeah,
He's done with money.
yeah. What else? Bad experiences in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, which he's going to project on you. So you have to convince him now why you're the right person to help him get what he wants, which is the frame's all off there. I'm not here to convince. I'm not here to give you a guarantee. I'm here to hold the mirror up to your face. I'm here to get you to realize that your way of thinking, your way of acting, your way of believing has created a life that you currently are dissatisfied with. You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the skills, you haven't been resourceful enough to get it. Then the question becomes, how much longer do we want to be the guy that we are right now? Because there is no guarantee in anything. When do we step up?
My wife and I are also hoping to buy a home in the next 3 to 6 months, which is incredibly tricky up here in the Northeast. It's just so astronomically expensive, and the tax is absurd. So we're doing well. We're not paycheck to paycheck by any means.
Yeah.
But trying to make sure that what we are making is going to the right places. We're not, wasting money on dumb shit, and we start some investment accounts where we have guaranteed money growing for us and working for us behind the scenes.
Where does that comment of we're not going to invest money into dumb stuff come from? Does that come from someone with prior experience, or does that come from someone who just speculating?
Prior
Prior
experience.
experience.
Prior experience.
Later on in the call, he mentioned in his 20s he was very stupid with money, wasted a bunch of money.
There it
Yeah.
is.
There it is. It's projection time on you.
Okay.
Because the mindset is Chris Scala needs to guarantee me success. I need more information
Mm-hmm.
so that I can be more certain I'm making the right decision. Wrong. I can't do that. I can't give you that. I'm not God. So if I can't give you that, no program can. And it's not about the program, just like it's not about the diet. It's the person using the diet, making it work. The question then becomes, what are you to do? Only he
Yeah,
can
the
answer that.
guarantee is if you keep spending money the way he is, you'll be broke. That's the guarantee.
Yep. And you saw how he kind of rationalized it. We're not doing bad. We're not paycheck to paycheck. We're doing well enough. Chris?
I should have said something about this because they made like two a 275 that went down to like 250 or something. And I was like, hey, 13K a month and 250, that doesn't add up. That's only like 150. So what am I missing? Because she's a teacher.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this was a bad call, honestly. So
Okay. So you notice how he's got an ego. Very stonewalled, stoic. Probably going to have a high likelihood of trying to control the call at some point, bully his way through getting what he wants. And so that can only persist because of what?
if I let him,
How would you let him? By doing what?
giving him what he wants.
No. Yes and no, but it's something specific.
Not stick to the process.
Yes, but what is the process?
Seeing like why he's here and what's prevented him from doing more.
Context.
For him to take ownership.
Context. Ego can only persist because of lack of context. Right? And context comes in when he says we're making 270K. And you did the math for him. You're like 13K a month. He agreed to it, but that math doesn't make any sense. Right? So be a little bit more patient with those
One thing,
notes.
sorry to interrupt either. One thing I've noticed, especially with the people on this offer, with the people that are making 200, 250,000, 300, they ain't shit because a lot of them are in debt anyways. Like talked to this couple last night, 250,000 gross, bringing in 11,000. They're at a net zero margin every single month. And then a couple yesterday morning, same thing. They're bringing in 11,000, but their monthly bills are 16K a month. But she gets quarterly bonuses, and they have to rely on that bonus every single month. So they could be making 200, 300,000 a year, but that doesn't mean jack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
this
as soon as I got that in my head and figured that out, I was like, I don't care how much you make. What are you keeping every month? And
An immediate thing, Chris, too, when you say 270K gross and they say 13K net, I'm probably gonna say, whoa, you paying over 50% in taxes? Why? What are you doing about that? That automatically lets you know you're doing something wrong. You need to do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100K in debt as well, this brother.
yeah,
100K in debt.
Damn.
And that's like car, school, and random stuff.
Wow.
yeah.
Sounds like he wasn't just dumb in his 20s with money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if I would have got more context, I would have like broke him better.
Yeah. With these guys who are more stoic, be patient. Stop moving so quick. Don't allow their stoicism and their intense personality to intimidate you into rushing through your process. Hold frame.
And most people that speak to us, Dan, they are in one of two boats. Either, hey, paycheck to paycheck, and they, are struggling to save, have a lot of debt, things like that. And then the other person is more so not paycheck.
Why did you know they were in debt, but you didn't know the amount?
In the notes there, it just said the debt. It didn't say the notes.
Okay, that's something that you would want to ping Carrie on and be like, hey, like when we know someone's in debt, we need to understand how much.
Ask, okay.
Yeah.
And I
Check the
assume
paycheck
that
like
he
yourself.
was doing well. I should have just like went deeper.
Yeah. Well, think about it, dude. Like these personalities who are all egocentric, narcissistic, they're going to only tell you what they want to tell you that doesn't make them look bad or weak. They want to be viewed as successful. So, the more context that we have prior to this call, like if you knew this guy was 100K in debt, you wouldn't allow these BS answers, rationalizing and fluffy responses. You would already know that he has a problem that needs to be solved. So that's why having the context is important, but don't just take him at his word. He's rationalizing it. Anytime someone says we're not doing that bad, they're rationalizing, coping. It's not a big deal. Says who? You? I'd imagine his wife feels differently. I'd imagine his kids feel differently. Chris?
He even said, I said, hey, like, is this impacting your marriage at all? He's like, no, not really. We're cool. I'm like, what?
Liar.
Liar.
Liar. He's not even just lying to you, though. He's lying to himself.
But that's my fault for not going deeper.
Yeah. But that response comes from here, moving on too quick, submitting to his frame that he is successful, he is doing well. That's not true. Not true.
Doing relatively well and wanting to, just
Not doing relatively well.
get ahead with your investments. That sounds like the boat that you're in now.
I mean, we do have a fair amount of debt, but at this
How
point,
much, if you don't mind me asking?
Upwards of like 100 grand all in,
100 grand.
Yeah, considering like, unsecured personal loans, school loans, car payments, things like that.
So school, car.
Rahel.
Yeah, I think Chris, even if you read the notes, but if you get him to verbalize like fair amount of debt, how much is it specifically? 100K. And then if he says 100K in debt and saying I'm doing fairly well, like that doesn't line up. So you think 100K debt is fairly well to you? It's like, cool. Okay, so you need to make what? 500K a year? Okay, cool. Why don't you make 500K a year then? It's like, oh, like that's not going to work. Why is it not going to work? Oh, it's just the way I'm in debt, the way I'm making money. It's like me making more money doesn't actually get me further. It actually moves me back.
Yeah.
Like get him and just agree with him, like chat like with these ego people. Because I sold dentists and they said the same thing. They're like, I'm making 3 mil a year top line, and they got everything on finance and credit. So it's like you get down deep enough and they're like, oh yeah, I'm making nothing. One thing that's helped me before too is once they say that 100K in debt, this is where I'll like, that's one of the times I'll actually ask them to break it down. Like, what are you paying monthly? And then what are you bringing in? And then you just do the math right in front of them. And I'm like, you're bringing in 9K and you have 8K in bills. Are you really doing that good?
I
So
think
that
Tristan,
usually hits.
I asked you a question, Tristan. So when he said like spending money on dumb shit or don't want to spend money on dumb shit, I think immediate thought is, okay, so what dumb shit have we done in the past or recently to get more context up until this point so we can start.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just want clarity, dude. You need to understand who you're talking to. That's the main thing with these people. And through asking questions, he's forced to open up. When he opens up, he's going to be receptive to reframes, challenging, getting a different perspective, giving us more leverage, more ammo. Because we need leverage to challenge him as to why he's chosen not to do more. We have to know that.
Okay. And so as
Yeah,
we
just
get
to-
into that,
Yeah, just to give you a little context there, like that was spread across a variety of different accounts. And I spent the last year, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term overemployed, but I was basically working like 2 full-time jobs, bringing in like a double income. And that helped me get to a better place where I was able to pay down some debt, consolidate what I did have. So like, I think, right now our minimum monthly
said,
obligation, credit card debt is down to 0.
When he said 100K in debt, the first thing he said was personal loan. I've never heard anybody take out a personal loan and it be a good thing. for these people. So that's like one thing you can jump on. What was that for? And it would have probably brought you here.
Yeah, unsecured loan, he said, I think he said. So what is that?
Yeah. Agreed, Kyle.
You
There's
know,
just
it's
a
all
lot more to this story. And these guys, these personalities will always downplay it. They'll act like they got it all figured out. They're going to get there no matter what. They don't need you. But it's not true. That's all ego. Because when he admits that he needs you and he doesn't know what he's doing, he views that as weakness. And he doesn't want to be viewed as weak. He wants to be viewed as strong. But being viewed as strong has gotten us where?
all consolidated into a personal loan, but
Mhm.
are between like minimum payments on a personal loan, car, and school payment, probably looking around like 2,700 in total
Okay.
minimum obligation. I mean, of
Okay.
course, we have our rent, we have insurance, things like that. So like, I could be paying more towards this debt right now, but knowing that we're also hoping to purchase a home, we're trying to load as much as we can into our savings account. Now that I have it at least consolidated into a manageable month-to-month payment. So
Okay. And I know you mentioned that getting a home is a big thing for you guys on the list in the next 3 to 6 months. How long have you guys, or have you been following Brennan?
I've come across this post in the last couple of months, and then they started to become more frequent. I followed the account, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, it's worth exploring. And that's how I ended up
It's worth exploring.
here. Just looking for something. There's so much like wealth management out there that is so official and like white glove, and this felt like more my speed of just like everyday people calling
Yeah.
out like the experiences that people and couples are going through every single day, and it resonated well. So that's how I ended up taking the step.
Okay.
Bless you.
Yeah, I was holding back that speech for about 10 seconds. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I was listening to what you were saying. So we've been following for a few months. Like, what has you on this call now? Like, you're not, like, doesn't sound like to me at least that you're gonna miss a meal tomorrow. Like, what has you on this call now?
Yeah, definitely not gonna miss a meal. I guess we obviously are doing well financially, like in terms of our income, but it's hard. So like we have a 10-month-old son. I have another baby on the way, which happened a little bit sooner than
Well,
expected.
congrats on that.
Thanks, man. So like we're renting right now, and we could make it work with a second child, but like we've been hoping to purchase a home for some time now.
How
With
long?
I mean, we haven't been like aggressively in the market just with the insane interest rates, but now that we have another baby on the way, we're hoping to move on something.
Yeah, he's telling you everything you need to know. I can invest into stocks, but limiting belief. We can make it work with a kid, but limiting belief.
He kept going back to the interest rates too. Oh, New York and
We can buy the house, but limiting belief. So he's in his own way. Call it out. But what? That's where the objection lies. And it's the same objection that says, I want to get on this call to get more information. You need to convince me. Give me a guarantee of success. Oh, that doesn't exist? Okay, now we can actually have a conversation. Doesn't exist. No one will give it to you. No one can give it to you. Just like the guy who married you and your wife, the officiant, didn't look at you and say, hey, just want to let you know that by agreeing to be married until death do you part, you're going to have an amazing marriage. You're never going to fight. You're never going to have kids that come out that are drug addicts or miscarriage or an unexpected death in the family that causes emotional turmoil and fighting and arguing, not being on the same page. Doesn't work that way. But if right before I took that step and walked down the altar, I spent the night before just going through Reddit and looking at all these my wife divorced me because of X forms, probably would be pretty nervous to actually take that step. But that's what these guys do. Person to person to person. Oh, he's not credible. Let me look for every reason why I should not do it and rationalize why I made the right decision. And then I'll go to the next person and just continue to project all my own insecurities and my own lack of belief in myself onto these people. And here we are. No tangible progress. No real plan.
I think sooner than later. And at this point, we were hoping that the rates would be lower than they are, but have been,
externalizing. If the rates were lower, then we would buy the house. Do you see it?
externalizing, yeah.
People who consistently externalize responsibility on other factors outside of their control, what kind of outcome do we get at the end of those calls for married men?
Spouse objection.
Every time. Every single time.
I found out it wasn't money, it's running it by her.
Right. That's pride, though.
Yeah, the spouse is not real. I understand.
You know, touch and go looking for the last year and a half, and I'd say it's in like the last 2 months where we're looking a little bit more aggressively. Like we have a mortgage pre-approval and underwritten pre-approval, but still, there's just bless you, so little available.
Yeah.
That even like with the down payment that we have and the current interest rates and how insanely high the taxes are up here, we're looking at like, there's nothing less than $700,000, and that is like a dated home that needs some love.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like anywhere between like 5,500 to $6,000 a month in a mortgage payment, majority of which is interest and tax.
Got it. And so with what you're like trying to do here, I took a look at the conversation with Carrie. I know the home as you're talking about right now, like the home is a big thing now. You've been holding off because of interest rates. Outside of that, you did also just say that past couple months it's been more aggressive. What's the reason?
Yeah, it's just, our lease is up in March and we have another baby on the way. So it's like, if we're going to make a move, now would be the time.
A want has turned into a
Need.
To do so rather than renewing our lease or finding another rental. So it's not like we have to do it. It's something more that we want to do. And maybe it's not the right move right now, especially with just how expensive and how high the interest is. So overall, the reason why I had reached out and I'm looking into this is because, I've struggled greatly in the past with spending and things like that have gotten me into the situation that I'm in. But since then I've grown up quite a bit, I've done pretty well for myself where I've grown quite a bit in my role.
dig on that, man. Gotta dig.
He just kept rambling, and I just struggled to cut him off this time.
You cut him off immediately.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Immediately.
And shift it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cut him off. It doesn't matter. None of that other stuff, man. I don't give a rip that you're successful, man. You're not. Compared to who?
He's not. No.
You
Yeah.
did it with that one lady who was way more abrasive than this one.
Keyword lady. But yes,
Yeah.
thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. I don't care. You're successful, quote unquote. Let's talk about these decisions you made in the past, the debt you've accumulated. Let's talk about the fears that are there. Fear. That's what it is. Because what he's saying is, I don't want to make another bad financial move. So guarantee me that it's not going to be bad, Chris. No. Always use Warren Buffett for these types of people. How does that go? And it's not the boat. It's the other one. Who knows it?
Do you think every investment that he made, he was 100% certain that it was going to hit? No, but he did anyway.
Yeah. So opener is, do you know who Warren Buffett is? They say yes. He's a billionaire. How did he become a billionaire? Investing. So if Warren Buffett only ever made an investment when he was 100% certain that that investment was going to be favorable, would he have ever became a billionaire? Yes or no? No. So the idea that the moves that we make need to be guaranteed to actually pan out favorably, where does that come from? Where does that come from? Because you just figure out where the reference point is and you reframe it. Then in his mind, he thinks, wow, never thought about it that way. You're right. I'm wrong. Submission. Now he's following your lead.
Role, and I'm doing really well. I'm making almost 200 grand a year myself. My wife is a school teacher.
Oh, dude, man.
So that's what brings us
I'll hold my tongue.
closer to around that 275 number. So we're doing better than most out there, I would say. And I just want to make sure that as we move forward, I'm aggressively or have the right strategy to pay down the debt that we have. But then also, if we do go and purchase a home, whatever is left, making sure that we're allocating some set of money into investment accounts where it's not just going into an account that's going to return nothing. And that over time, the compound interest and hopefully by the time we're in our 50s, we can make whatever it is, a couple $100s a month really work for us and grow. And it could be a couple thousand.
So okay. And like you said that you're doing well right now, making 200K a year, but also like you're struggling right now. Like what's like the gap there?
It's not struggling. It's
ego. Okay. What question should you have asked to get him to open up, give you leverage so that he could not respond this way?
I mean, there's a disconnect. What question?
I gave you the answer, if you recall. What question did I say we needed to ask and get clarity around?
The past bad purchases.
Yes. Him being dumb, him being a bad investor, him making mistakes. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Dumb SHIT that he
Yeah.
bought.
You're not perfect, man. Stop acting like you are. Talk about how bad of a person you are. Because he's just going to sit up on this high horse the whole call and act like he's perfect, even though he's not. He's just as fearful and insecure as we all are, because we're all human beings. You got to knock him off the pedestal. He brought pain into the conversation, admitting fault, and we stepped over it. You see that? When we step over it, that's the outcome every single time.
So,
like we're fine.
So I guess a good question possibly could be when he says, people say I'm doing better than most compared to who?
Yes. You really want to like get
curious.
man to man, chest to chest, compared to who?
Compared to who? People doing way worse. Yeah, people doing way better as well, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that and kind of
Yeah,
go down
it's
that
not
again.
that bad. What has you on this call?
And also, Chris, another thing that kind of I learned, I've been trying it with men. They understand one thing. They understand timeout. So he's just blabbing. Timeout. Real quick. Hold on. Timeout. Means stop. Like this, you can be fun about, hey, timeout. Real quick. Timeout. You said, I've been trying that. It's been working. Cut him off
Yeah,
real quick.
I should have. He needed about 5 timeouts, but that's on me. Thank you.
He needs to
Timeout.
go in timeout. Good
Penalty
stuff.
box.
Thanks, Adam.
And in the sense of like, I have all of our payments down monthly.
Yep.
We both have great credit. It's not like we're in like a risky position of like destroying our credit or anything like that.
Mhm.
It's tricky right now because we're paying like, about $2,700 a month in rent. If we were to proceed with purchasing a home, that like living payment would probably double. It'd be around like 500 to 5,500 in the time that the interest rates are so high. They come down 1.5 points. That would probably drop literally like $1,500, $2,000 a month. It's just insane right now.
Okay.
So my financial situation could be changing in the near future if we do end up proceeding to purchase a home.
What is he saying right now?
Sounds like you can't afford to purchase a new home right now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way.
Why is he?
Because of
he
what?
looking?
Because of what?
His
Because
situation.
of the market, because of
His
the interest rate.
choices.
Yeah,
His choices.
you can't afford to buy one.
No
right now.
one else's. His choices.
Way
Who's
better
having the
than
kid
yourself.
again? Who's having the kid again? The second kid? Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd that come about?
Wait. And he said that baby was unplanned.
Whose responsibility was that to make sure that that didn't happen if it wasn't planned? You see what I'm saying? Like these guys will act like they're the victim in this situation. It's not the market, dude. I live in the same economy as you.
Yeah. It's like, how long we got till the baby? Like 6 months? Okay. So you're hoping that the interest rates go down in 6 months so you can make sure you can take care of your newborn. What happens if they don't go down? You just hoping and praying? How's that working for you?
Yeah. Someone needs to hold this guy accountable. He's not taking any responsibility. It's
No, the
not
one
the
I like,
market.
Tristan, is like, how old are you, Daniel? Like 37? Okay. Are you where you wanted to be like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Because like, oh, because it sounds like you're doing amazing, right? So like 10 years ago, you are 37. This is exactly where you want to be. 100K in debt.
The thing that gets this guy, though, is using his own ego against him. When he keeps saying, we're doing good, we're doing great, we're successful, I say, in comparison to who? In comparison to who? And then you ask him, where do you want to be, though? Where do you want to be? And he through narcissism is going to shove this ridiculous goal up in the air. And now we have a reference point. I'm like, I don't care about all these bottom feeders below you, dude. And neither do you. So stop acting like you're doing better than them. We don't care about them. The measurement is who you are right now in comparison to where you actually want to be. Let's have that conversation. Because in comparison to where you actually want to be, you're not doing good.
I just want to make sure that like I am financially sound in the sense that we have investment accounts set up. We are setting some sort of money into accounts that are going to grow for us. If there's a better way for me to be approaching the debt that I have, I'm all ears on a strategy there. I just want to make sure that, I'm setting myself up for a bright future, and even looking for guidance on if purchasing a home right now is the right choice.
Right.
And things
So
like that.
you just want like, it sounds like you're not quite like, hey, like we're going to get a house, but you want to be prepared to do that, and you don't feel prepared for any move right now.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's probably a good way to put it.
Okay. And so how long?
Anytime they do that where they're like, yeah, maybe. I'm like, is it accurate or not? You have to slap them. Because he'll sit in
Yeah.
gray. These
Yeah,
guys
Chris,
who
you're
sit
too
on the
like
fence.
lenient with them. Like you're going with his words.
I couldn't
You
get
need
a
to
word in with this guy.
you need to have your own frame. Like don't buy into his frame.
And I think another thing too is he wants to set all this stuff up. Immediate questions. Why haven't we done it yet? Like, let's talk about that. 'Cause you're
Yeah,
30.
I asked
You're
that and he
30.
kept like dodging it.
Fuck it. That's figuring
Yeah,
that.
just keep asking him because I had somebody do that with a house. They're like, want to buy a house. I said, well, I haven't done it yet. Well, he kept dodging. Do you have 6 months saved up for them to actually approve you? No. Then he kept dodging. I said, what are you gonna do about that debt? Because they won't approve you if you have $100,000 in debt. And he just looks at you. Because if you want to attack this guy from different angles, I always did okay, you have X amount saved up for the down payment, but do you have 6 months saved up? Yes or no? No. Okay, then you're not going to approve for that. You're $100,000 in debt. You make $200,000 a year. You're at 50% utilization rate. They won't approve you. What is your plan?
Love it. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Writing on the wall says you're not actually doing great. So you keep saying that. What's behind that? Because you and I both see that you're not doing great in comparison to where you actually want to be. So where does that come from?
The in comparison to who question builds the gap and he's not so great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are you comparing yourself to? The homeless guy on the side of the street? You see what I mean?
People living in Section 8.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. That's where we're
Yeah.
going. Been doing that.
Would you say the most Americans make like 40K a year?
Mm-hmm. Average sole income is 40K a year.
He
The thing
lives
is
in New York.
He's in New York.
So he's actually middle class New York.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's screwed New York.
Yeah.
Say average.
He's only making 13K like take home pay.
Take home.
Yeah, I
In New York, that ain't shit in New York.
50K.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't shit nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta level up unless you're in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
Around $8,000 a month for
Without rent.
Without rent.
And his rent was 2,800.
Yep, 10K a month. Wow. So
Yep.
when you mentioned that you guys are not paycheck to paycheck, it seems
Mhm.
like you are though.
Oh, dude, I should have did all this crap.
Bro, I put that into all of my calls if I talk to somebody from these high income places. It's like, you live there and you're making this. And then they're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Long would you say that's been the goal to be in a spot where you are prepared for something like that?
I'd say probably in like the last 6 or 9 months. That's where, I've at least gotten the debt situation at least under control from like a month-to-month payment. I'm not paying across like 5 different cards. It's all consolidated into one loan, where at least I have a trajectory to pay something off.
Okay.
I was really kind of focusing on like minimum monthly obligations. So trying to bring that to the lowest possible amount so that when we are getting considered for mortgage pre-approvals and things like that, when they look to our like monthly debt to income ratio, that is as low as possible.
Okay. And then over the last,
Here's the objection. If he thinks he's right, then why would he bring on more debt? Okay, so what flips the script is him viewing himself as in the wrong. If he's not wrong, and the way he's been living is not wrong, and there hasn't been a big cost to the way that he's been living and acting and thinking and believing and choosing, then you're fighting against him. And you're not going to go anywhere. Because he is right in his own mind until proven otherwise.
Mm-mm.
9 months or so, 6 to 9 months, outside of, getting that monthly to where you can like manage and things like that? What else have you sort of been trying to put yourself in a position to where you can be prepared for, getting a house or just getting your investments where you want them to be?
Yeah, just dumping as much as we can into savings. I have a 401k, but even that I haven't been. So I just started a new job a month ago. So
Okay.
with this job, I actually can't even open up my 401k with this company for like a few more months. But in my last roles, I wasn't even paying like the full maxing out my 401k because I wanted that cash potentially available for a down payment. So literally everything that's like left over for the most part, I've just been putting in savings, just so that it's liquid and it's available.
I can almost guarantee you that $270,000 is the most money this guy's ever made in his entire life.
Correct.
Yeah,
For
he's
sure.
just using that as a reference point because he's narcissistic.
And he's
Ego
into-
thing, man. Makes you feel good, all right? Making
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I'm 200K. My wife's making 70. She has to work all day, though. I never get to see her. 'Cause
Let
he
me
just-
rub
yeah.
you one real quick.
Yeah. What about when your kids are 15?
Yeah.
To me to make a move with. And maybe that's the right choice. Maybe it's not the right choice. Maybe I should be saving some and putting some into investment accounts. And these are just the things that I am
Yeah.
not financially sound enough to
How
be.
Yeah, he just wants like a financial planner. It would be unwise for me to take on more debt. All these things are at play when it comes to the end of the call. And the fact that he's been doing all the research and not taking any action, no responsibility for where he's currently at, aside from bad investments in the past. Totally downplaying a situation, acting like it's not that bad. That's why you got objections at the end of the call. It had nothing to do with his wife and everything to do with him.
Making the decisions on.
Okay, and how long have you been aware that you've like not been like financially sound in those areas?
I mean, I've known for some time, that it's that I don't have the right investment knowledge to make my
Yeah.
money work for me. Like I've dabbled with stocks and stuff in the past.
Have you looked into any outside help, or what have you kind of done there?
I haven't, because I just felt like I wasn't in a position to do so, like walking into a wealth
What made him say that?
He
What?
got into it. He's like, I'm fearful and intimidated.
management office and telling somebody that I have a bunch of debt and that I want to make it's.
Hold on.
Yes.
I mean, I've known for some time, that it's that I don't have the right investment knowledge to make my
Yeah.
money work for me. Like I've dabbled with stocks and stuff in the past.
Have you looked
Dabbled. What does that mean?
into any outside help, or what have you
So really lock in on what they're telling you. They'll tell you everything you need to know, give you all the information that you need to close them, if you're paying attention.
kind of done there?
Because that's once again, game of inches, dabbled in it. What does that mean? Because then that opens the door of a conversation. What prevented you from putting more into the market?
I just didn't get on top of this guy like I needed to.
Yeah, that's why the ego persists.
Yeah.
You don't know enough about him.
I haven't, because I just felt like I wasn't in a position to do so, like walking into a wealth management office and telling somebody that I have a bunch of debt and that I want to make it seems like it was not the right demographic for me to walk in there. And that's
What? What do you mean?
What does that
demographic?
even mean?
I think I asked that. Let's see.
You're in
partially
debt.
what budget does.
So what it sounds like to me is this guy's little ego would have been a little hurt. He would have needed a little lollipop to go in there and take a photo with Santa Claus.
Well,
That's what it sounds like.
that's where the question compared to who comes in at, because he doesn't have the confidence walking to wealth management where they're managing millions of dollars in under assets. He don't feel like that's the room he should be in.
Yeah,
So
it would have made him feel insecure.
yeah.
Anytime he feels insecure, he's out. And realize this, guys, as men, if you look at your own life, you put 100% of everything that you have into vehicles that give you certainty that you're good enough and that you're valuable. Has to be an abundant yes. Okay? We all do it. Areas that we feel insignificant, incompetent, right? Stupid, not valuable, we don't give any time or attention to those areas. If you're honest with yourself. So that's how divorce happens. Work says I'm great. Work says I'm valuable. Work says that people respect me. All in on work. And when I come home to my wife, she's just nagging me. She's just all these things. She never appreciates me. Affair. Okay, so for this guy, he's in his own way because he's comparing his own success to everyone below him, not above. He's egotistical, and his ego prevented him from going into one of these wealth management firms and getting the help. That's the truth. His ego has also prevented him from investing into the stock market because he's embarrassed that if it doesn't work, he's going to look like an idiot in front of his wife and kids. That's why he's got to go run to her and get her permission as to whether or not he's making the right decision. He needs her validation that he's making the right move. 13 minutes. That's what actually happened.
Dog spoke to me a little bit because it was
Yeah.
starting with, these people have.
Got to go deeper on that conversation. That whole demographic thing made no sense. That was a cover up, ego, downplaying it. This is where being dumb curious, like what? Can you explain that a little bit more? I kind of lost you there. Demographic? What did you mean by that? Force him to open up. Because when he opens up, he tells you the truth. We get the truth. We don't leverage it against him in a manipulative way. We leverage it against him in a look at the writing on the wall, dude. This ain't working. Dead end.
Had all of this debt. They were making plenty of money, but didn't know what to do with it. That is what kind of brought me here. So, are you
Like,
I'm curious?
He's trying. Okay, hold on now. I want to explain something to you. So he's starting to feel pinned. Listen to what I'm about to say. He's feeling pinned based on what just came out of his mouth. He doesn't want to give you the opportunity to ask about what happened with that investment firm. So he tries to get control over the conversation. I'm like, no, hold on. Hold on, buddy. No, you don't get to control where this goes. You mentioned something there that I'm really curious about. You said due to the demographic, that's what kind of pushed you away. What did you mean by that? Do not let these insecure guys control where this conversation goes, because that's what he's doing. Not today. You don't get to bully your way through interactions with people to get what you want anymore. You're going to be honest with yourself. You're going to be honest with me.
Like, did you feel like with the wealth management, walking into an office like that, like, did you feel like you weren't in a good enough spot to go and do that, or?
Potentially, but I think it's also just super intimidating to just, make a move like that and walk in and just be vulnerable and transparent with somebody.
What about it?
Kind of like what you're doing on this call with me right now.
You say that right there?
1000%. Hey, brother, that checks out. That checks out.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So you say, I guess you would say, because I guess for the past 14 minutes you've been telling me how good you've been doing and not
Ooh.
what you really expected.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Checkmate.
about
Gosh, man, that pisses
But it's a
me
game
off.
of inches, dude.
Pisses
It's a
me
game
off,
of
man.
inches. That's why we get the calls reviewed.
That's why we're here. Yeah, get better, man.
Yeah, that brother would have been cooked right there.
It's like once you bring that, so it's like you rather not be vulnerable and share the truth than actually fix your debt and make sure your newborn is taken care of. So that's the two options we have here. So your fear is controlling you. Like it's kind of crazy. Like he'd rather be in more and more debt than just be vulnerable and say to you or anyone else who he needs help from to say like, I'm not in the best situation and I need help.
Ego.
Yeah.
1000%. But that should be exciting for you because you were right there. Even though you didn't have the awareness in the moment,
Yeah.
now you do. And
Yeah.
the next time that happens, you will be prepared to handle it.
Thanks for
There's
that.
a lot of that stuff when we're just taking the call, it goes over our head. but now it won't. If you watch the call again, take the notes, and implement. Like we only went 14 minutes. I know exactly where this is going to go. And just realize this, guys. Future pace can't close them. Consequence can't close them. The pitch can't close them. The price point can't close them. The testimonials can't close them.
I didn't
None of
feature
that.
this guy.
None of
No
that.
point.
That's all fingers crossed execution going with the future pace and hoping that you can urgency his way into getting out of his own way. It's not going to happen.
Compared to who would have changed the whole conversation.
100%. And sitting,
Yeah.
being more patient, trusting yourself, not allowing his demeanor, his insecure demeanor to fold you over.
He tried to spin it back 2 or 3 times. I made a joke out of it and he was cool, but he tried to spin it a couple times.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
He likes control.
No, Chris, for sure though. That demeanor type, they will speed you up though. Well, in your mind, does it to me all sometimes too. It's like, okay, this guy is trying to speed me up, and sometimes I follow right along with it too. But you know, you gotta sit, be patient, be uncomfortable, and let's just have a conversation, bro. Like, we're gonna talk or not talk.
I think I could have put it on the table if I would have been standing up. That would have been.
So,
I knew a sales guy with a standing desk, and that would lift up his desk for like one of those guys and look down at him, just to like visually.
Yep.
Crush your
It worked
calls,
for him.
everybody. Let's win
Bro,
today.
welcome to
Good
the
luck.
family, brother.
Welcome, Rohit.
Welcome,
Nice to
Ro.
meet
Appreciate
ya.
you all.
We're loved.
Later.